have great taste, especially with your radio choice. Thank you for spending a little time with Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
Ain't no love in Oklahoma. Kiss Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. Had to be the longest day ever yesterday for the family of 10-year-old Peyton Saint-Ignan. Shortly before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Webster Parish Sheriff's Department was notified that she was missing from her Magnolia Road home in Dubberly. Last seen at bedtime late Saturday night, reportedly wearing blue frozen pajamas and no shoes. And then later on, she was captured on the game cam of a hunter there in the area. There were, literally hundreds, if not thousands of people on the ground searching for this baby. And finally, using some thermal imaging from a drone later on in the evening, it was about 11 o'clock last night. She was discovered there on the imaging, sleeping there in the middle of the woods, about 300 yards away from where the game cam had captured her image. And finally got her home safe and sound. They said that she was hungry. I bet she was. Long and short, Webster Parish Sheriff Jason Parker, the DeSoto Sheriff's Department. So many organizations got involved in this. And I honestly believe that it was because of their quick, decisive actions that this baby was found. There's no telling what might have happened. All the information about that, if you were one of those wondering when you went to bed last night, you still didn't know the outcome, it was good. She, not a scratch to the best of our understanding. All that information in your Kiss Country app, and kudos to all those first responders who put it all out there, all the volunteers that were out there on side-by-sides walking around. Wow, you guys were miracles. Kiss Country 93.7. Good morning, Gary and Bristol, and she's back. Bessie, the Kiss Cash Cow, back today. She is loaded, too. Your chance to win up to $30,000. We play every hour, 8:20 a.m. all the way through 5:20 p.m. Each hour, we give you another Kiss Cash Cow code. Put that in your Kiss Country app, and if you haven't downloaded that already, it's free. Go ahead and get that knocked out, and then be ready. Enter as many of those cash codes as you can, because each one worth your chance to win up to $30,000. All courtesy of Greg Tilley's Manufactured Housing. Okay? Download the app. First code, 8:20 this morning. Then we'll do another one at 9:20, 10:20. Well, you get the picture. All the way through 5:20. And we do it every weekday. All the rules and every bit of information you need to enter right there in your Kiss Country app.
My number one station.
Number one, Gary and Bristol. Another reason we're number one. Kiss Country 93.
That's Kenny Chesney out last night. Kiss Country 93.7. Well, while the Saints were just beating the dog stuffing out of my Cowboys yesterday, FBI began an investigation into what they're calling a second attempt to assassinate President Donald Trump. Suspect concealed in bushes pointing an AR-style rifle with a scope into Trump's West Palm Beach, Florida golf course from outside the fence. They say that Trump was only about 400 yards away. Got Rafael Barros of the Secret Service and Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw on that.
Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag. Now, in the bushes where this guy was, an 8K-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro. An agent jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. We have somebody in custody right now.
That suspect, 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh of North Carolina, but they say he's currently residing in Hawaii. Well, actually, I'm sure he's going to be residing somewhere else for a while.
They've tested positive, but not in a good way.
Careful. These two have proven to be highly contagious. It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
She got the best of me. It's Luke Combs, Kiss Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol, and she's back. Bessie's back.
Back
again. Kiss Cash Cow, your chance to win up to $30,000 from Greg Tilley's Manufactured Housing. First Kiss Cash Cow code here in about an hour at 8:20, and then we do it every hour. 9:20, 10:20, 11:20, all the way through 5:20 in the evening. If you haven't downloaded your app, get that done. While we're waiting on that, your chance to win up to that $30,000. We got 4 tickets for the Angola Prison Rodeo in October. And you know, every year when we give these away, we have more people that call us up and go, I've been before. Have you been? No, we haven't been. They have the coolest event. It's just insane.
I've heard the craft fair beforehand is worth the drive itself. So, just saying. Now, if you missed the answer to Friday's ticket trivia, here it is. According to HR specialists, while in a job interview, it helps a guy if he's doing this, but it hurts a woman. We wanted to know what that was. Wearing a wedding ring. Go figure.
Yeah. Okay, today's question, though most men would argue this, a little over 50% of women say they do this better than their husbands. What? Though most men would argue this, a little over 50% of women say that they do this better than their husbands. Do what? 725-5477-725-KISS. Luke Bryan. Kiss tomorrow. Goodbye. Kiss Country 93.7 is Gary in Bristol. And for the Saints fans.
Now when the Saints go marching in.
Boy, they marched in on top of my Cowboys yesterday. What was the final score? 187-2? Something like that? 44-19.
Feels like it, doesn't it? And everybody was at that game. My gosh.
Okay, so here's the deal. Obviously, the Saints are victorious in this one, big time. So if you want to make fun of my Cowboys, it's okay. Today's the day. We'll take all your Cowboys jokes, like, the picture of the 85-year-old women that were all gathered up together, and that was the cheerleaders of the last time that Dallas won the Super Bowl. Yeah, oh yeah. So you want to poke fun at the Cowboys? Today's your day. As a Saints fan, you have earned that right. Okay?
I haven't seen that one yet, and I kind of want to see it now.
All this morning, if you want to dog my Cowboys, just go right ahead. In fact, it started yesterday. My buddy Bubba England from Doug's Paint and Body Shop, he's texting me like the minute the game's over. So what about your Cowboys?
He's been waiting on that all year.
Well, sure.
That, right?
And you know what? You're exactly right. I'm still a Cowboys fan. And I understand that there is a loser. I just didn't know we were going to lose so bad.
I
mean, we got the highest paid player in the NFL. Everybody else is supposed to just quit. They show up and do the coin toss and go home.
Even the highest paid player in the NFL gets to have an off day.
Yeah. Okay, so if you got Cowboy jokes, today's your chance. You have a platform, 100,000 watts of... 725-5477. Yeah, we won't take it. 725-KISS.
Making that ride to work fun.
Come on now, Junior, take a wild ride.
It's Gary in Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
That's Scotty McCurry. U-Time. Kiss Country 93.7. Gary in Bristol. Thanks for the messages on the Kiss Country app.
Everybody got jokes.
What's Jerry Jones' biggest concern? Does bail money count against the salary cap?
Oh.
What do you call 47 people sitting around a TV watching the Super Bowl? The Dallas Cowboys. And I'm a Cowboys fan, and you know what? You just got to admit when you got beat. And yesterday, the Saints just railed on our Cowboys.
Any given Sunday.
I want to say that the Saints yesterday, it was like the first 5 possessions they scored on their first 5 possessions. And it was like they had tied for a team record the number of points between last week's game and this week's game that they had scored in the first half. I want to say it was like 65 points that they've scored just in the first half of those 2 games.
So I don't want to say it's the Cowboys that are bad. Maybe it's just the Saints' year.
Could very well be. I mean, the Cowboys might have just gotten beat by the Super Bowl champs this year. Who knows?
Right.
Or maybe the Saints beat the Super Bowl champs yesterday. I mean, stranger things have happened. So,
that'd be like an LSU come from behind win, but okay, yeah.
That happened Saturday too. I was blown away. I was like, wait a minute, we just won this game. How did we beat South Carolina? So, as a real Cowboys fan, I'm hoping that I'm speaking on behalf of a number of others who are gracious enough to say, you know what, Saints, you earned this right. Just go for it.
Okay, I have to say this. Dak Prescott did not play on defense.
No, you're right.
Win as a team, lose as a team. And
Right.
I'm a big Cowboys fan.
You're a Cowboys fan too?
100%.
Me too. So it really, really, really stings when you get strummed like that.
Yep, it does.
So what are you woman enough to just say, yep, they beat us. The Saints got us. Better team yesterday.
They definitely got us.
And see, that's the thing. I don't hear anybody going, well, we got to blame the referees. We got to blame the lady on the third row that did this, or, well, it was the cheerleader's fault. No, it was they had tainted water in those coolers and stuff. We just got beat.
Definitely so.
Thanks for spending your morning with us. Gary and Bristol on Shreveport, Bossier's #1 for New Country. Kiss Country 93.7.
Kiss Country 93.7 is Gary and Bristol. Thanks for letting us go to work with you. We have prizes.
We do.
Yeah, coming up here about 8:20, your first Kiss Cash Cow code of the day. If you haven't downloaded the app, get that done. And then enter that code. We do it every hour, 8:20, 9:20, 10:20. You get the picture. All the way through 5:20 in the evening. Each one of those codes could win you up to $30,000.
That's big money.
From Greg Tilley's Manufactured Housing. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of money, we hear all the time about people trying to pass off counterfeit money.
Right.
And that's them getting caught by the bank. But this time the script got flipped. The bank was evidently trying to pass fake money off to the ATM customers.
What?
Independence Bank in Kentucky, they say they're in hot water right now after more than a dozen people received fake $100 bills. Not only were they fake, it was movie money that said for motion picture purposes and in props we trust. It wasn't totally obvious to some, though. They felt and looked real at first. People definitely realized they were fake when they went to try to spend them.
Oh, my God.
When the little girl at Circle K even notices, hey, look, this ain't real. You can't buy icy with this.
Right.
They say the bank is blaming it on the vendor that manages and maintains their machines. They say they've shut down the fake money ATMs and have contacted the people who have been impacted. You think about it, though. You're one of those people that got one of those fake $100 bills.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to say, no, wait, I just got this out of the ATM. Oh, sure you did.
I mean, who's going to believe you on that?
Right.
I mean, that's like trying to pass off Monopoly money.
And then all of a sudden, when there's like 10, 11 other phone calls, hey, we got this.
It may give you some validity. But
imagine you're the first one. Yeah, right.
And imagine it's one of us. They're like, whatever, McCoy.
Prison's full of people who didn't do it.
Ready for some moolah? I got cash! Yeah! Here's this hour's Kiss Cash Cow Code.
Here it is, your very first shot at up to $30,000. Your Kiss Cash Cow Code this hour is 895. 895. Enter that now in your free Kiss Country app for your chance to win, thanks to Greg Tilley's Bossier Mobile Homes.
Next code coming up at 9:20. Make sure you're listening.
Spending a morning without Gary and Bristol? It's like having a birthday without cake. Today's not the day for that. Kiss Country 93.7.
New Country from Old Dominion coming home. Kiss Country 93.7. It's Gary and Bristol. I don't know if you were paying attention to Facebook over the weekend. Cody Johnson just blew the doors off the Brookshire Grocery Arena.
Apparently so.
I mean, they say it was one of the absolute best concerts ever at that venue. And so I got to thinking, what'd you expect?
I mean,
you went to see Cody Johnson, and you got Cody Johnson at his best, and of course, he's at the top of his game right now. Mm-hmm. But on occasion, you go to a concert and you went, wow, I spent how much for this? OMG.
Yeah.
So was there ever a concert that just really disappointed you? I mean, you went, oh my God, I am not believing I'm, and it probably some point you go, let's go. Let's beat the rush out of here. But what you didn't realize is that you were part of the rush to get out of there.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think. Has there been a show like that?
I was at Hearst Coliseum, and believe it or not, of all the people, it was George Jones.
Really?
Yes. And I don't think I was alone. I think there were a lot of people who were like, dude. And, he earned the nickname No Shone Jones, but I would almost rather someone not show than just be totally drunk while they're doing it.
I got you.
And apparently that happens a lot more with artists than what we'd ever imagine.
And we just don't know they're totally drunk.
Well, exactly.
Okay.
So what about you? Was there ever a concert you went, nah, I totally overspent on that one, even if you got free tickets?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So we'll find out tomorrow morning. Yes, it'll be okay to point fingers. Worst concert you ever attended. Bright and early tomorrow morning. And don't forget now, coming up here at 10:20, Jess has got another one of those Kiss Cash Cow codes for you. Hey, if you don't need the $30,000, you can donate it to your favorite disc jockey charity.
Amen.
Gary and Bristol and the Please Pay Our Bills for a Month or So club.
Saw the rising sun. Coffee in my cup. They put the good in morning. It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.